Welcome, everyone, to this special series where we're exploring what really means to be an alt link here at Alter.
That's right, Alter, our marketing and advertising agency, with that vision, to be recognized as the home of limitless creativity.
Exactly. And today, we are diving deep into one of our core values,
Mm-hmm.
the learning mindset,
And specifically, we're zeroing in on one key principle under that value.
which is I ask questions and engage in discussions to deepen my understanding.
Yeah. And this is so crucial because it's not just about knowing what to do.
It's about really getting the why behind it, isn't it?
Precisely. It's that deeper level of understanding, going beyond just the surface instructions.
Okay, so let's unpack that. When we talk about a learning mindset here at Alter, what are we actually talking about in practice?
Well, at its core, it's really a commitment to continuous growth,
Right.
being curious, wanting to improve.
So always learning.
Yeah, and actively seeking out that deeper understanding. And the way we do that is through asking questions, engaging in discussions.
Right. It's not passive.
Not at all. And importantly, it means recognizing that saying, I don't know, or I need clarification, isn't like a weakness.
Hmm. That's a big one.
Mm.
It's actually a strength, right?
Mm.
A starting point for learning.
Absolutely. It's about having the confidence to speak up, to say, hang on, I need to understand this better, and then digging in until you get that clarity.
So it's proactive engagement.
Exactly. Proactive.
And what isn't it? Sometimes it helps to define by contrast. Is it about questioning just for the sake of it?
Oh, definitely not. It's not about being difficult or, skeptical about everything. The motivation comes from a genuine desire to learn and understand fully.
Not just poking holes.
Right. And it's also not about sitting back and expecting someone else to just feed you all the information. There's an initiative involved. You have to participate actively.
Okay, that makes sense. So why is this principle, asking questions, engaging in discussion, why is it so vital for us here at Alter? What are the benefits?
Oh, there are quite a few. First off, it's probably the best way to avoid making assumptions.
Yeah. Assumptions can be dangerous.
Totally. Think about it. How often does a misunderstanding happen because someone thought they knew what was needed but didn't double check? Asking questions stops that.
It's like a built-in error prevention mechanism.
Kind of, yeah. And what's interesting is that moment of asking, which might feel a bit vulnerable, actually leads to much stronger, more accurate work.
True. And it's not just about avoiding mistakes, is it? There's more to it.
Definitely. Asking questions is also a fantastic way to invite more ideas and different perspectives into the conversation.
How so?
Well, when you ask something, especially an open-ended question, you're creating space for others to share their insights, their experiences. You might get an angle you hadn't even considered.
So it boosts collaboration and potentially innovation.
Absolutely. It taps into the collective brain power of the team, which naturally builds stronger alignment.
Okay, alignment. Tell me more about that.
Well, if everyone understands the why, the objective, the reasoning behind a decision, it just creates the shared path forward. Everyone's pulling in the same direction.
Yeah, clarity removes friction, basically. Makes
Yeah.
teamwork smoother.
Exactly. Clarity fuels that collective effort. And of course, the most fundamental benefit.
Learning something new.
You got it. Every single question holds the potential for learning, not just for the asker either. Sometimes the person answering gains a new perspective just by explaining it.
It's a cycle of shared learning.
Precisely. Continuous improvement, really.
Okay, this is great conceptually, but let's make it really concrete. Can we walk through some examples of this learning mindset in action across different teams at Alter?
Yeah, let's do that. Think about our client success team. A client sends a request.
Okay.
Instead of just jumping on it, the alt link with a learning mindset might ask, that's great, could you tell me a bit more about the ultimate goal here? What does success look like for you with this task?
Digging for the why behind the what's.
Exactly. It helps them serve the client much more effectively, moving beyond just ticking a box.
That makes a huge difference.
Okay.
Okay, what about, say, the copy team?
For copy, imagine starting a new piece of brand work. They might ask, okay, what's the absolute core message we need to land here? What's the desired tone and feeling? Are there past examples or specific brand voice guidelines I should review?
So getting that foundational understanding before the creative work even starts.
Right. It ensures the writing is aligned strategically from the get-go, saves time and rework later.
Makes perfect sense. And performance, when they're looking at data.
Great example. Say the performance team sees a drop in click-through rate, the CTR.
Yep.
Someone operating with a learning mindset doesn't just report CTR is down. They ask, okay, why is it down? What changed? Was it the audience, the creative, the platform? Let's investigate.
So moving from just observation to actual investigating.
Exactly. Understanding the root cause so we can actually fix it or learn from it.
That proactive digging seems key. Does it apply elsewhere too? Design,
Yeah.
production.
Oh, absolutely. The design team might say, before I go too far down this visual path, can we just confirm the key message and the target audience again? Make sure this look feels right for them.
A quick alignment check.
Mm-hmm. And the production team, maybe in pre-production for a video, asking, let's walk through the intended story flow one more time. And just to be sure, what are the exact output formats and specs needed? Clarity up front saves headaches later.
Yeah, you really see the pattern. What about teams that aren't directly client-facing in the same way, like HR or sales?
Same principle applies. HR, maybe rolling out a new tool, could ask, what's the best way to track usage and gather feedback on this? How can we best integrate it into existing workflows? They're seeking to understand the implementation deeply.
Learning how to make it successful.
Right. Or sales and marketing after a pitch. Instead of just moving on, they might ask, what parts of that presentation really landed well? Where did we maybe lose them? What questions came up that we should prepare better for next time?
Constant refinement based on experience.
Exactly. Even our accounts team, before sending an invoice, might ask, just want to quickly confirm the scope of work covered here aligns with everyone's understanding to prevent any back and forth later.
It's about proactive clarity everywhere, even leadership, I assume.
Absolutely. Leadership asking teams, how is this new process working for you? What feedback do you have? Where can we improve? That's a learning mindset in action at all levels.
Wow, okay, so it really does touch every part of Alter.
It does. And when you tie it all together, the underlying idea is pretty powerful.
Which is?
At Alter, we believe asking questions drives clarity.
Okay.
That clarity then builds confidence in ourselves, in our teams, in our direction.
Right.
And that confidence ultimately allows us to create better, more impactful work together. Questions lead to clarity, clarity leads to confidence, confidence leads to better results.
That's a great way to put it. So boiling it all down, what's the main thing we want Altlinks to take away from this deep dive?
It's pretty straightforward, really. Don't guess. If you're unsure, just ask.
Simple but powerful.
Yeah. And don't just nod along in a meeting if something isn't clear. Engage. Ask that question. Participate in the discussion.
Make the effort to understand deeply.
Exactly. Understand the why, because that deeper understanding helps all of us work smarter, not just harder. It fuels everything we do.
That's our deep dive into the learning mindset at Alter for today. Really insightful stuff.
Yeah, and we hope you, listening, will take a moment to think about how you can actively apply this principle.
You know, asking those questions, really engaging in discussions in your own work this week.
Consider where seeking that deeper understanding might unlock one of those aha moments for you or your team.
Those moments really do strengthen our collective creativity, don't they?
They absolutely do. So maybe reflect. What questions did this discussion spark for you?
And think about how asking those questions could contribute to your own growth and, ultimately, our shared success as Altlinks.
Well said.
Join us again tomorrow as we continue this series, exploring another core value and what it truly means to be an Altlink here at Alter.